This morning on Today at Work, the revenge factor. Have you ever felt slighted or backstabbed by someone in the office and you wanted to get back at them? Well, don't feel bad, because experts say sometimes revenge can actually be good for you. Ken Siegel is a workplace psychologist and is featured in this week's Business Week cover story on revenge in the workplace. And Ken, welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
So we've all felt angry at a coworker or our boss from time to time, but how common is it to really want to seek revenge?
It's pretty common, and it's a lot more common than you'd ever know because people don't talk about it. It's not one of those feelings that you publicly proclaim, gee, I'm out to get someone.
Because it sounds awful.
It sounds awful, and actually it doesn't even feel so good except in the moment. But it's very, very common. And you know, one of the reasons the Business Week article is so compelling is because it touches a nerve we've all been exposed to.
You say there's some trigger points that set off vengeful feelings, and I've got when your status or your title at work is threatened, when there's a threat to your salary, to the money you make, or a threat to your self-esteem.
Absolutely.
So if you're feeling any of this, how do you know when your vengeful feelings are getting out of control?
There's a couple of warning signs. The most important one, the thing you really have to pay attention to, is are you in control of your feelings, or are your feelings in control of you? And there's a couple of ways that your body will let you know about this. If you're having repeated nightmares, for instance, about your boss or your coworkers, and one night you happen to wake up and a butcher knife has found itself into your hand,
that's a problem.
You got a real issue here, you know.
Butcher knife in hand, an issue.
Yes. Or you know, you come home and your kids innocently walk up to you and say, so how was work, Dad or Mom? And you decide to ground them for a week for being insolent. These kinds of overreactions are indicators to you that you're not managing your feelings of hostility and revenge very well.
Okay. All of that said, you also think revenge can be a good thing.
It can be in some very specific, very, very contained situations.
Like what?
Well, if you think about it, most of us in our workplace can identify people where we look at them and we say, how did they get into that job? There are people who are in positions of power and influence who just shouldn't be there. They're abusive, they're corrupt in some ways. Most of them are coming to light in the news these days. But the fact is, if you can come up with a reason as to why other people will benefit, not just you, from following through on some of your actions, then you have some sense of ennobled revenge, where you're seeking justice, not just remuneration or...
Justice is a better word than revenge.
Yeah, justice is a better word than revenge. And if, in fact, other people benefit besides just you, that is a good indicator that it is justice and not just selfishly motivated.
I think the key is channeling the anger and those vengeful feelings into positive action.
Absolutely. And that's very, very difficult because, you know, seeking revenge and acting out on that feels good in the moment.
Right.
But the consequences are oftentimes pretty severe.
Okay, you do have some advice for how to channel.
I do.
Again,
I do.
Get it positive. And first, you say you got to step back and sort of analyze the situation.
Yeah, we give the executives we work with this kind of acronym: ACT, don't act out. Where ACT is a three-phase process to help them reframe what's going on in their mind. And the first thing, the A, stands for analyzing what is really going on. What is the situation really about? What's been your role in making things better and worse? And what are your options? Because in any situation, you've got options. Keeping that perspective is very, very healthy and necessary.
Okay, before we run out of time, I want to mention, you say you've got to confront a specific person if you have someone with courage and take charge of that relationship going forward. What do you mean by that?
When confronting with courage, what you're really doing is you're having a conversation with the source of your discomfort, which is very difficult for most of us to do in our personal lives, let alone in our professional lives.
Right, and then taking charge of the relationship.
Taking charge of the relationship is saying, what can we do going forward to prevent these events from destructive outcomes for us? How can we build a better relationship going forward using more face time and more contact?
Okay, a lot to think about here. Ken Siegel, good to talk to you. Appreciate it.
And you as well. Thanks so much.
And once again, here's Lester.
Campbell, thanks.